Am I the asshole for not covering a phone my child broke? My daughter is in first grade, and her teacher had a class where the teacher distributed magnets and had the students see what they could stick to and were walking around the classroom doing this. The teacher's phone got destroyed during this exercise because one of the students stuck a magnet on it. The teacher asked the class if they knew who touched her phone, and one student spoke up and said they saw my daughter do it. My daughter claims she did not do it. The teacher is asking me to reimburse her for the cost of the phone. I told her absolutely not, especially since she didn't have her phone put away when encouraging first graders to stick magnets on things. Plus, the kids that said she saw my daughter could be lying. My husband thinks we should keep the peace and replace the phone, while I think my daughter did not do it. AITA. And #X200B. Update. From one of the commenters here has informed me modern iPhones cannot be damaged by magnets, so this instructor is trying to con me into replacing her damaged phone. I looked it up and it seems new phones are not affected like the devices I grew up with. Not the asshole. Even if your daughter stuck the magnet to the phone, the teacher had literally told her to stick magnets to things. Teacher should keep her valuables put away. Not the asshole. Any teacher who doesn't have their phone put away during class is a teacher who doesn't get to play victim when their phone gets broken. Not the asshole. Doesn't matter which kid did it. They are not at fault. Teacher left phone out and told kids to put magnets on things. 100% teacher's fault. I would bypass the teacher and go straight to admin with this demand. Lol. Just no. From Goggle. No, a magnet will not damage your smartphones. And the reason why not is simple. Your phone's components are not magnetic. If they aren't magnetic, they cannot be disturbed by magnets in your phone's case. Apple iPhone and Android devices use NAND flash memory, which are not affected by magnets. October 7, 2021. Schools usually make staff sign a thing saying that their personal property is their personal responsibility. I know I had to sign that before I started working at my center. Even if your child broke it, the teacher had the responsibility to put it away in a safe place, whether it be a car, locker, break room, drawer, etc. Not the asshole, and do not replace it. I would have a word with school administration too. Not the asshole, she should have put her phone away before telling a group of first graders to go around and stick magnets to whatever they could find. Well, someone found her phone, so that's on her. She had no right to contact you directly and make a demand like that. I would call the principal and let them know what's going on. I wouldn't replace the phone either. Update. Am I the asshole for wearing my first general sash against my dad's wife's wishes? Original post. First, thank you to everyone who replied to my original post. I don't understand what these awards are. I've been a Reddit lurker, but this is my first account, so I'm not really sure what any of it means, but thank you. I genuinely thought only like 4 people would respond and tell me I'm being a petty so this was surprising. Second, I want to clarify 2 points. Things with my dad are complicated. Obviously, there's a lot of background I can't all fit here. I love him, but we are not as close as we once were. He has been very supportive of my education. He has also struggled with expressing that he is proud of me. Suffice it to say, I got very choked up at internet strangers telling me they are proud. It's actually a stole, not a sash. My mistake. Lastly, my update. I texted my dad after our call and told him that I was sorry for becoming frustrated, but I would still wear the sash, and meant no offense by it. He apologized to me over text as well. I went out to dinner with my father, Kelly, and paternal grandmother on the night before graduation. It was the typical awkward time. We went to Kelly's favorite restaurant, of course. Dad asked privately before dinner that I not confront Kelly, so I did not. I reiterated to him that I thought this conflict was ridiculous and that I was disappointed he chose to act this way. He apologized again and agreed. He hinted that there was some other deeper issue happening between him and his wife. I said that was not my business and they should work through it, rather than take it out on others. We left it at that. On day of, I wore my sash, stole? It was a very nice graduation. Lots of photos with family. Lots of cheering. Kelly was tense and unpleasant, as usual, but I smiled and ignored it. I had a lovely time. I also wrote Kelly a note that I gave her as I left. I told her in the note that it was not my intention to hurt her feelings, but also my school is recognizing that I do not come from parents who are lawyers to celebrate my work. I also said that people change all the time and that our relationship to one another could change too with time and effort on both sides. I might be the asshole now, because frankly my note feels disingenuous since I have no real intention of being friendly with her. Keep your enemies close. Alternatively, litigation taught me that creating a written record is important. Things are gonna be tough with my dad for a while too. We had talked about taking a trip together after I take the bar, and I do not want to go with him anymore. I have a strong feeling Kelly will never mention the note to me nor my father. I mostly now just feel sad and tired, but I'm also ready for the next chapter of my life. Thank you again to everyone. Congratulations on your graduation. I wish you success on the bar. Don't feel bad about your note. I think it was a good idea and worth trying. You maintained your boundaries while doing everything you could to not be disrespectful. You are not the asshole then or now. I'm glad you had a peaceful celebration. I don't think the note is disingenuous. Notes like that, platitudes like that, they are like social grease to reduce friction in tense relationships. It's no big deal as long as you are generally respectful. Not a pushover, just respectful as you would be towards any stranger or acquaintance. What more can be reasonably asked of you? Congratulations on your graduation. I am glad you opted to wear the stole and didn't let her issues dissuade you. My advice would vary to focus on studying for the bar and moving forward towards your goals. I don't think your note to Kelly and the fact that you didn't really mean it makes you an asshole, it's more a bit peacekeeping. Good luck with the bar exam. I'm glad you wore the sash, stole proudly. My stepdaughter wore a similar first general marker when she graduated from college. Although I hold a bachelor's degree, her birth parents do not. That's what counts, and I was proud as heck to see her wear it. Frame the stole and hang it up somewhere it can be seen. Yes, I'm that petty. You earned it though, be proud. I might be the asshole now, because frankly my note feels disingenuous since I have no real intention of being friendly with her. Keep your enemies close. Alternatively, litigation taught me that creating a written record is important. You're being pragmatic, not an asshole. Congrats on your graduation. Am I the asshole for refusing to allow my nephew and niece's dad to access their inheritance? I lost my older sister 12 years ago. She left her husband and 2 kids behind. In her final year of life the marriage had been rocky. Once she got sick he started seeing other people. Our family knew, my sister knew, but she didn't want to dump more trauma onto the kids by leaving him and potentially having the truth come out. So she stayed and she tried to not dwell on the fact she knew he would have no problem acting as though she didn't exist. She made sure my parents, brother and I all had access and a relationship with the kids so we could make a point for grandparents' rights if we needed to. When she died she had set up a small amount of savings for both her kids, and after she passed my parents took over the account and saving for her kids' future. For the last 4 years I have been left in charge of the account with the instructions my sister and parents left. My ex-Bill was sort of aware money was kept out of his reach. It bothered him but not as much. He married fast after my sister and has a stepdaughter and a son with his wife. Over the years stuff between him, my parents and I were rough. He didn't want us having a relationship with the kids, but he also didn't want any sort of visitation being granted through the courts. He also didn't want the kids finding out he brought one of his hookups around when their mom died or that he had cheated throughout her illness. I would like to say none of us would have. But my brother despises ex-Bill with such a heated passion that I could see him wanting the kids to choose us and abandon their father. But anyway. Both my niece and nephew are now over the age of 18, so the money and the accounts were signed over to them. They were surprised to find it was there but no less happy. Ex-Bill was pissed when he realized the sum of money was significant, and on top of gifts and experiences with my family over the years, the kids had real savings, and nothing was given to his other kids. He told me I should have allowed him access. That he could have made sure things were equal in his family with his kids. He said as the father of my nephew and niece he had a right to that money while they were minors. Am I the asshole? He cheated on your sister and had the nerve to complain about how you treated him. Wow. Not the asshole. He's angry he couldn't milk her even after her death. You followed your sister's wishes. How can you really think you're an asshole here? Your ex-Bill did everything short of physically pissing on your sister's grave, and you think he deserved any money? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Their mother left that money for her children and not for her husband, rebuild his life with someone he was cheating on her with, nonetheless. He and his new wife should provide for their children together. Not the asshole their mother left that money to them specifically. She probably knew he would try to spend it on future children and she did not want that. His other kids should understand that their older siblings lost their mom and were sent a gift from her since she couldn't be there as they became adults. It was never their father's money, so not his to give them. I don't understand why he's talking about he should have been allowed to make things equal with all his kids. 2 of his kids have a living mother and 2 don't, so it's already not equal. If he was a good father, he would be happy for his kids that they have this surprise leg up on expenses for college or room and board, etc. Instead, he's hurt and insulted by greed. Sad. Abso-effing-lutely not the asshole. He's the A. all the way. And anyway, too late now, it's done. Be proud you have looked after your sister and parents' wishes and done something for your niece and nephew. To honest, I would feel a bit like your brother lol, but you took the higher ground. Kudos. Am I the asshole for telling his poor family we're very well off? Okay. This is going to take a while. So me, 32 female, and my husband, 30 male, have been together for 12 years now. Since the first day of our relationship, his family had something against me. On top of that, he was always the black sheep of the family. So, all we heard from day one was, you two won't achieve anything, her career is useless. You will be the beggars of the family. You better learn a useful skill than go after a university degree. As we progressed over the years, they always had something negative to add. You'll never be able to go to a vacation. Since we worked throughout the year when we were broke, saving up, you'll never have what, insert someone else, has. Your relationship can't be strong with this or that. But, over time, we got to a point where we are well off. We founded a business together that brings passive income. We both have high-ranking managing positions in our companies. We bought an apartment to rent from what we saved, no credit, no mortgage, we don't have a single cent of debt. And still, these people keep talking down to us. So, I snapped a bit. When they, once again, started with their shit, along the lines of me not being a good wife as I don't cook for my husband, and I pay a woman to clean our house, and I work long hours, and we will never last. Well, I said that, actually, thanks to working long hours, I have the monthly salary I do, which is their yearly income, and my husband as well, and we have been happy for 12 years. And he never asked for another wife, and we don't fight over every cent, and we are making a future for ourselves. Suddenly, when I mentioned the number I'm making, there was silence in the room, and his aunt made this sad, pitiful expression. They stopped. But their annual income is very low. And they are financially unstable. And I feel like I hurt them with this, made them feel bad about themselves, just so I would vent a bit. Did I go too far? Not the asshole, but be ready to be asked for money. A lot. Like, all the time. You should have just gotten some distance from them, but you've now opened a Pandora's box that will be hard to close without cutting them off. Not the asshole. They are the ones who kept bringing up finances. Not the asshole, they were making rude assumptions about your life, you simply corrected them. I personally would never mention how much I made, but you have been constantly pushed and pushed and pushed, so I understand snapping a bit and blurting it out. I wouldn't ever mention it again, and I think you should be prepared for them to ask for money as a loan or just to help out family, now that they know your income. Rather than loan them money, try to show them how to improve themselves like you and your husband have done. Not the asshole H. Not the asshole. If you keep poking a dog, you shouldn't be surprised if you get bit. Not to call you a dog open mouth smile, but you didn't say anything that wasn't true, and while your delivery probably could have been nicer, they drove you to the reaction you had. You are not the asshole for saying what you said. But you are being assholes to yourselves to continue having these people in your lives. Why have you two allowed people who have actively shit-talked you continued access to your family?